Welcome to Prana Talk TV. I'm Shayna Dean and
Ellie Tom Elamine.
Welcome everybody and welcome Ellie Tom. It's so wonderful to see you after all this time.
Oh, absolutely. I'm back. Back from the east, here to the west.
Yes, and we haven't had a talk in a while because you've been so busy doing retreats in India.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Oh man, big time growth. Because each retreat is different. So each group of people I dealt with, or even the same people, everybody's growing because that's what the message is all about. It's not just a one-time thing and you'll be here at this level and that's it. As long as you keep working with the life force energy, you'll keep growing. That's why Breatharianism is a minor city, they call it. It's not really a big thing, but for the Western mind, if you never heard it, it does seem big. But once you stay on this trail, it don't matter if you eat or don't eat, it's dealing with something totally different of the full growth of wholeness of a thought process. Oh man.
Absolutely. And you just landed, well, last week, landed in United States soil after 2 years being away. So now you are bringing everything back that you've accumulated and done in India back to the States. And how does it feel to be back? Welcome home, by the way.
Oh man, it's good. Guess what? I came barefooted.
I know you did.
I just asked you today, hey man, you ain't got no shoes. I said, I just got back from India. I'm all right. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I love it.
So this is good. And just to feel that vibration that added to my game, you know, really grounded yourself to the earth. All of this is just part of the journey. It goes on and on. We're energy beings, and that's the concept that got to get in people's head. Now, we use that word, many words, prana, cosmic energy, solar energy, what a life force energy. But it's the energy that gives life. Let's just put it like that. And when we say cosmic energy, cosmic is just a word that means the energies that come from off the planet, the cosmos. So that's also talk about the solar, which is our local star, when we use these words, but also how it's showering us all the time, everybody, all life. That's what we call love. Love energy, you're surrendering to that type of love. And the thing about this energy is giving it to you both day and night, to everybody. It is giving us all. It don't matter what you did, what you're doing, it's always there and it's available. So that's what we're talking about when we talk about the love energy.
Yes. And today we're going to talk a lot about love, because when you are on this path, you will realize that the foundation of the path is really love. It's love energy. And the reason for that is this is our true essence, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this path connects us to what, not just who, but what we really are. And
What we really are.
Compassion, we're the light. So the more you're on this path, the more you feel that energy. And if you ever get off the path and you feel like you're slipping a little bit, or you're not functioning at your best, highest level, the best way to get yourself back on track is to love yourself and love others. So love is a really big part of this journey.
Absolutely. And the thing about it, like we're saying, this is what they mean in religion, that God has unconditional love, meaning it don't ask for nothing back. It's there available for you all the time. And like you said, when you get off the path, all you got to do is surrender. It's the one that's giving it. Because if it was up to us on that other mind, let me make it plain. There'd be things we'll get into. We'll say that this person deserves more love than this one. I like this person more, so I'll give them some. But this energy is just it's giving everybody 110%, no matter what you did, who you are, what color you are. It's no technique. It's always there and available. That's the breatharian. That's what we call the source.
Right. And the reason is because it's not the kind of love that we identify with being in love. It's not a human love. It's a state of being that is love. Mm-hmm. So it's very different. So it doesn't withhold or give based on judgment or opinion or anything. It's just there.
It's always just there, always.
Yeah.
And like I said, over this last you're basically, this is the most I ever used that word love. Before I stayed away from it, I wouldn't use it. But then when I came into this realization to really start letting my body go through different tests, different challenges, traveling around, just surrendering and everything just falling in place, it was like you can't even get out of it. This is how powerful it is. Even when you think you're out of it, it's an illusion.
That's right. Right. You're always in it because that's what you are. I remember
Mhm.
a long time ago when I was young, I had a friend of mine who said, you know, Shayna, one of the things I don't like about you is that you love everything. And they said, I can't figure out what you actually love because you're always telling me, oh, I love this, I love that. And I just looked at him like, what?
Right,
What's
right.
wrong with loving everything? The more you love, the more you embrace that. It's actually an energy of gratitude. Oh my
Hmm.
gosh, I love, you know, the trees. I love the sun. I love
Hmm.
myself. I love you, Ellie Tom. I love everybody watching, right?
Right,
I mean, love everything. And the more you do it, the more joyous you are, the more bliss you feel, the more gratitude you have. Take on an
right.
attitude of love. Really embrace it and feel it, especially for
Absolutely.
yourself, because not everybody has self-love, and that's really important on this journey.
Really important. And I'm glad you brought up that word gratitude. Just to wake up in the day. And I actually got a friend who literally does this. He wakes up in the morning and think about all the things he's grateful for before he starts out his day. That's his meditation. I'm grateful for this because you can become so much out of gratitude, it's pathetic. And see, this is what I noticed on people. A person be sitting there hating their life or hating whatever, or not satisfied. But then if a situation happens, to give you an example, one of my friends had a motorcycle accident where they scraped up their leg. Not bad, but bad enough. So now all of their attention is on their leg. Life is just over with. But before that accident happened, they were sitting up there complaining about their life. But then I said to them, if we had a time machine that took you back to before your foot just got messed up, they would want to be back there, but they wasn't grateful of that time period. So this is why sometimes we go through little things too in life to let us know that you were grateful and had everything you needed back before you started crying for something. But when something came about that you thought was worse, you'll do anything to get back to that place where you were crying about it.
Not only that, being in a situation or a state where you're, let's say, complaining or feeling negative, that can actually cause accidents.
Mm-hmm.
That can actually bring disharmony into your life. And if you don't think that's true, you just haven't been paying attention to your life.
Absolutely.
Pay attention. Just to piggyback on what you're talking about with a friend of yours who had an accident, I was with someone once who was in a really negative state for a few days, and we were
Mm-hmm.
crossing the street together one day. And believe it or not, there was actually a car accident that happened. A car turned right into us and hit him as a pedestrian. He was okay. I mean, he was injured, but he, you know,
Right.
made it through. But I remember thinking at the time, wow, like this is an exact like you know, really called that in because the energy was being spun in a
Mm-hmm.
really kind of tough, heavy way, right?
Oh man,
And
I'm
I
glad you
really
said
energetically saw that connection immediately.
immediately. Because our mind is our greatest muscle. And we actually create our reality.
Mm-hmm.
So once we understand that, start watching how you're using your mind. That's a vehicle. That's why the ancients said everything is mental, everything is mind. They hit it right on the head. They have to say everything is spiritual. They have to use no other word. This is a vehicle. And when you're using it negatively or letting it get away from you, it could cause things in your external reality that you brought forth.
However, I do want to say, because I don't want to scare people, because it's not so easy to like take control of your mind all the time. So I
Exactly.
definitely don't want to say if you're in a heavier space that, you know, you're going to have something awful happen. That's not the case.
Right.
Luckily, we are not our best creators and manifestors when we're in that state. We're
Mm-hmm.
really good manifestors when we're a higher state of being like love,
Mm-hmm.
gratitude, bliss, all of that. So that's when we're really peaking, performance
right.
manifesting. So even if you do let those moods get to you, don't fret over it. Just,
Oh yeah.
recognize it and then pull yourself back into a state of love if you're able to do
Well,
that.
everybody got to go through their different changes. When I first heard my mind creates my reality, I said, oh man, I'm in trouble. Right? This mind has got all types of thoughts. That's why the process is gradual. I'm glad we talk about this because that's what the breatharian knowledge is about. This is the breatharian knowledge. That's just the word we gave it, but it's all one and the same thing. It's all mental. It's a mental thing. Oh man, so that's why it's a gradual thing. You're not going to jump from being this negative person right here, and in 21 days, you're going to be this positive, bright star for the rest of your life because you got a lot of healing to go through. There was a lot of blockages got put around the mind, a lot of different crucifixions, and you're slowly pulling them off, and that goes hand in hand with food. Food is nothing but emotions and thoughts.
Yes, I'm so glad you brought that up. Just a little bit of my experience back in the day, there would be times where I would be fasting or working really hard on wanting to be more food free. And then I would have moments where I would eat, right? But the eating was like, it would make me feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing well. I'm not holding up to my expectations. And by the way, expectation is a form of an attachment. So be mindful of expectations. But
Right.
what I found was to get myself out of that is to love myself, because what I was doing was beating myself up. And I know a lot of people out there do that, right? You just not doing what you think you should be doing. You start beating yourself up and you're like, well, I might as well eat more. I might as well do this or that. I'm already down this, right? Already going down the rabbit hole. But if you just kind of reel yourself back in and say, wait a minute, I am love. I'm just going to love myself through this process, suspend all judgment and just love. And every time I did that, it brought me right back into center. And guess what? My hunger went away. I didn't have any desire, outside of myself. I felt really satisfied and fulfilled. So love is not only the path. Well, it is the path, but it brings, it reels you back in as you need it,
Oh yeah. To center you and to harmonize the different, because there's only one body, but we use 4 bodies in this realm: the physical, emotional, mental, and the spiritual. When one is off, it makes the others go off. Sort of like if you go through something emotional. Yes, it affects the physical body and the mental body. You go through something mental, it affects the other ones. You see what I'm saying? So you want to harmonize those. When we talk about love, you're just giving yourself time out, take a deep breath so they can harmonize themselves. Because the body always seeks a center. It's sort of like if you damage the body, just give it time to start healing itself. It don't need our help. We just tend to get in the way all the time. But this is very important on what we're saying, dealing on these connections, or how we let the body just come back into a center. And that love energy that's in us and around us, it automatically will start running through the body. See, what we teach the levels of degrees. First I talk about the electrons, coming up from the earth, going in the body. You have to talk like that to a person on a mechanical level so they can understand that this is real. You're dealing with actual forces. But when it goes deeper and deeper into the game, it's way beyond the mechanics of what we're trying to explain. Sort of like electricity, man uses it, but we really don't know what it is. We just learn how to harness it to get the benefits out of it, or so it won't damage you. That's just a word we gave it. So it's sort of like with this love energy. That's another word we're giving it, but it's still the same thing. Once you settle down, relax, and let it come through you, that's what's giving you life. And about this food, I like how you said that, don't beat up on yourself about it, because people are even making food into a new religion.
And there's too much consciousness around it. I shouldn't say too much consciousness, too much emphasis on it. It's too much of a focal point.
Right. A focal point, and that's what we said, it's becoming worship, or this is better than that. And what it boils down to on the higher levels, when you're dealing with the love energy, all food corrupts the body. Now, we're just saying, that's why you can't judge one from another. But even
Vitamins
on
too.
that,
Vitamins,
huh?
vitamins too. If you take one particular vitamin,
Yeah,
you throw your body off balance because you're just taking one vitamin, right? So anytime you
absolutely.
ingest something, you run the risk of putting yourself out of balance. Now, of course, most people, most everyone's eating, right? So just being mindful of that. But it's really important to tune in to yourself and really breathe in and feel energetically what should I be eating now? You know, because most likely you're not in a state of balance.
Right, right.
What is your
That's
body
why this is the
doing?
growing process.
Right.
Hmm.
But I'm so glad we're talking about food because a lot of people write to both Ellie, Tom, and I and ask, what are you eating now? What are you doing?
Right, right.
Right.
It is foolishness
The thing is, if
because,
you're, yeah, sorry.
oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if you're asking, your focus is too much in the food. So
Mhm.
what this path is about, even though it's called breatharianism and the pranic path, and it indicates you'll be letting go of food, but it also means you're letting go of the idea of food. You're no longer thinking about what other people are eating. You're not thinking about what you're gonna eat. It's more of a state of energy. It's a state of knowing. And the deeper you get on this path, you realize it doesn't actually matter whether you eat or not. I mean, you'll naturally crave less, but it doesn't make a difference. You're still reaching these higher states.
And to make it plain on what we're saying, now we're going to bring in facts. This is why you cannot fast your way into breatharianism. Show me somebody who did. It doesn't work like that. That's powerful what I just said. Fasting is fasting, but living on prana is something else. In my retreats, and I do many of them, people come into healing, and I don't even stress the food part. Within 3 days, I could touch my toes. Within 3 days, my shoulder came back in sync. We didn't even touch the food. What did I do? I introduced them to the love energy. That's the power. So when you get the love energy and learn how to connect with it, then you add the food part or the fasting part on later. And you do that gradually so you won't hurt yourself. I hope this is making sense. And everybody has access to that life force energy that we're calling love energy. The more and more you let come into the body, then pretty soon your body comes into the energy. That's what sustains it. That's where the power is at.
Absolutely. And if you're fasting and things like that, and you're not in a state of love, or you're in a state where you're struggling, you might have a struggle with your fast.
Oh yeah. Matter of fact, fasting is very dangerous. Let me repeat, it's very dangerous. Many people have kidney failures, and usually the heart goes first because you're starving the body. We're not talking about starving the body. Now I'm saying all of this because I got a document that I just got from India that I'm going to teach over. Just going step by step, talking about everything I'm saying. And the path is already laid out. It was already what we're talking about. It's gradual. It has to be gradual because the body is still in its animal nature. See, spirituality is to transcend your animal nature. Just like an animal starving itself out in the wild. That's what people been, that's what'll happen to you. If it don't have another energy source to connect with. So you shouldn't even attempt breatharianism until you can really feel that connection with the source. Not just in mind, but also body, which is one and the same. Learn how to run that energy. If you're not there, leave it alone. Did I say that? Yeah.
And the path will also help to strengthen that connection to source. So the more you're on the
That's why it's called the path.
Right. When you're meditating, you're doing your energy practices, whatever that is, you're practicing positive thinking, you're practicing following your intuition, you will start feeling closer and closer to source. And this is really the beauty of the path. I mean, yeah, being food free is awesome. Like, it's really wonderful. I don't worry about the shelves being stocked at the grocery store and things like that. It's not even in my consciousness. But the crux of the whole thing is just pure love, and are you tapping into it, and developing? That's really what you want. You're going for that highest light, not whether or not you eat or not. That should be more like a side effect. If you look at it that way and just take the focus of the food away and focus on the energy and the love, you would advance pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, And the way you know you're going to get healthier in the physical, emotional, and mental bodies, because the energy is running unhindered. That's the power. And just like when we was talking about food, it don't matter. What do we mean by that? It's sort of like if you got a strong river and it's moving. And one day there was a rock slide and a lot of dirt got in the river. All you got to do is sit back. The power of the river is soon going to move the dirt and stuff and carry it on. So that's the same way of how the body handles itself with food. Now it does that on everybody, but what's happening is at the lower levels, when a person is that's dependent on external foods, the river gets blocked up eventually. If you're eating every day, you're going to experience constipation. Did I say that?
And some kind of sugar imbalance, most likely, and some kind of gut dysbiosis, right? So there's something.
That's why we're going to say all food corrupts the body. So what you're doing is through the spiritual practices of meditation, you got this river going, it's running real strong, but you're widening the river so it could get a bigger flux of water going through it to make it stronger, have a stronger energy. So that's why this is energy work. You are an energy worker. You're getting educated on how to grow your energy. And as long as you stay on the path, the stronger energetically you'll become.
And what's the best way of strengthening and expanding your energy?
Surrender.
And love.
Surrender to the love energy. That's what we're calling it. It's giving it to you both night and day, no matter what you did earlier, no matter what you're thinking about, it's there. You're learning how to get out of your way and let it come on in. So that's why we say meditation is the foundation. Oh, man.
Yes, and I can tell you firsthand from the energy work that I do with the Reiki and my clients, if somebody comes to me and they're in a state where they need healing or they're having something they're struggling with, their body, when I place my hands over their energy field, feels tight, constricted. Sometimes it feels like there's walls and blocks, like it's all like that, right? And if I talk them through exercise where I say, hey, visualize sending out love into the world or sending out compassion to those who are struggling, anything like that, immediately I feel an expansion of energy leave and come from their body and just expand outward. So I know firsthand, and I know that's not really a technical test, but I feel it quite strongly, and I feel that it's real. So, I mean, if you're in a state of compassion and love, your energy is expansive. You are connected. Your energy centers will be clear. You can clear your own chakras and your meridians and your nadis with love, right? And every time you're in a state that's the opposite of that, you're going to feel tight. I mean, the cells in your body are going to just feel held.
Well, I'm glad you said that too about how you feel that that's what's taking place, and it is. See, we got the computers and the equipment today that can measure all that. See, we are in the age of energy work where there's so many videos out there. I even do retreats where I'll have a whole day showing them videos where stuff is being proven at credited universities all around the planet on energy work, the science of yoga, the science of Tai Chi, the science of Qigong, the science of the electromagnetic field coming off the body and two people come together with synergy. These are measured. When I'm in people's presence and all of a sudden they don't feel hungry no more, that's our energy feels connected. And usually the stronger vibration has influence over the smaller one. So we know what we're doing.
Absolutely. Speaking of being in your presence, you're in the East Coast right now, and I know you're blazing a trail on the East Coast. So let's just divert for a moment. Let us know, where are you headed over the next month or two?
Oh man, well, for this month, I buckled down here at the East Coast because I'm having a good time experiencing the wintertime. Even though I grew up here on my path, to be back here since I've grown in the knowledge, it's a whole different experience, especially since I'm barefooted now, feeling the snow. And I just had to do a video showing people. Usually I get these calls all the time. When I was in India where it was hot all the time, then we got to move to the equator because I kept talking about the sun energy. The sun gives the earth its power. But then when I'm here, I've said it's daytime outside, right? The snow is out, it's daytime, that's the sun. Don't act like it's not in the Northern Hemisphere, and I'm still working with love energy. It's still here. So I'm trying to make the point that you can be a breatharian anywhere. So right now I'm doing a series of videos in the wintertime showing on my breatharian journey. It shouldn't change nothing. It's just the mindset again. So that's number one.
I love it.
I am buckled down too, writing a book. So I'll be in one place also writing a book. And then when I'll break out, I'm gonna hit little territories around here, head down to Florida. And then we're coming out west.
Out west. And so we'll just
Arizona.
Arizona. So we'll make the announcement now. Ellie Tom will be in Sedona, where I am, in January, and we're both so excited. And we'll definitely be doing a retreat. So I just wanted to let everybody know that if you are near or feel like venturing out to the beautiful Red Rocks out here, we will definitely be organizing something. We don't have any dates set yet, but we definitely will be putting something together, and it is on the books.
It's going to be so high, because I will vouch for this. In my travels in the US, Arizona is one of the highest energy points in the US, if not the world.
Yeah, I would agree. That's why I live here. I mean, I absolutely, oh, the magnetism here, it's like a magnet I can't leave.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
There's certain places I went, it was like the energy was so strong, you could feel it in your head, bouncing out the body. Powerful, powerful place. So this is the right place to have a breatharian retreat. So if you're in the area, or if you have to travel, get there. This is going to be so good, because like I said, we've been dealing with this energy, hundreds of retreats, people begin healing left and right. And the thing about the breatharian message, we teaching it so down to earth now, you should be able to get it at least with head knowledge. What it is, what it's not, the do's and don'ts. I teach it so much, I'm trying to figure out, I'm on offense right now. Why can't you see it? You know what I mean?
Because it's
just
experiential. It's experiential. So sometimes you have to kind of be present, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And experience it. So
it's an experience thing, but at least get that theoretical knowledge, because theoretical and the practice should go hand in hand. I think I taught this one time that some people got the theory, but they don't got the practice. And then there's people who got the practice, but they don't have the theory. I met some very good yoga people on my travels, but they just didn't have the theory. The mind was off, and if the mind is not in this place, the body will follow. So that means the mind is out of its place. Oh man, this goes good. But so that's why when we get this combination to go on these retreats, when you're getting both the theory and the practice, everybody comes out changed.
True, it's amazing. And we'll be doing a lot of talks out on the Red Rocks and the vortexes and things like that. So it'll be really high vibe, high frequency, amazing transformative time, and I'm really excited for that. So yay, it's been so long, 2 years, so we are ready to reunite.
Oh, I know it. And then you'll see too that that's the nourishment, that's the food. See, we even teach it so down to earth, even the word energy, everything is energy. But now we're digging, because all knowledge is given on surface knowledge. You gotta understand what it is. So we even giving definitions on what that is, so you can know. Oh, this is good. So I'm ready to go right now. I could talk for days.
I know. And I hate to tell you, but it was 80 degrees today. Oh, and the sun, yeah, it's always out. So
I'm coming. 80 degrees. Listen at that.
Now, I don't know what it's going to be like in January. We could have snow, so we'll see. We'll see. But, we have designer snow here. Did you know that? So it snows, everything's beautiful, but you don't have to shovel anything. It's just perfect.
Oh, yeah, just perfect. That's the right place to have it. And like I said, that's a high energy place in the United States. And to go for a breatharian retreat, that's going to be high.
Yes.
That's the food. You're learning how to nourish yourself with this love energy, this life force energy that all life is connected to. It's your source.
It is.
And see, the truth is in everybody. That's why this is a debate. See, I done learned people so much. I done did so much teaching, because people are me. I don't even let people get away with foolishness. Serious, because I know when it's a game, to where you're really sincere. You can see it because you know the truth. There's times I'll sit back and I'll hear a person talking and they'll tell you the breatharian journey. That's how good I know people now. You'll tell me the journey. You know it. It's just putting in the effort, the time and stuff like this. Everybody got their things that they're dealing with. Sometimes it's a cry out for help. That's all it is. Because you're God. We're all the same being.
Right. That's right. We are all the same and we're pure God. So Ellie, Tom, let's talk about this. So let's say somebody wants to embrace more love, but they don't know how. And I don't mean love like the human love. I mean the state of being that's love. Let's talk about some ways you can do that.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. See, like when we say, one thing that all meditations have in common is to relax and get in a comfortable position. All of them. Now, why is that? Because as soon as you relax the body, just like when you go to sleep at night, that's the position for it to recharge itself. It does it by its own nature. It don't need you. So when you're in a relaxed position, no matter what meditation it is, the energy forces that's unseen that you cannot see, taste, or smell, it has a chance now to go through the body on the places of least resistance. Here we go. In the places that have resistance, you'll feel it as stiffness, pain, you start sitting into it, but that's just the way it is. At least it's identifying to you where the stress is at, where the tension is at. So that's step number one, learning how to relax. Some people don't know how to relax. So it's okay, settle down into it. So that's step number one.
Sleeping too. It's much easier to be in a good mood when you're well rested.
Oh yeah.
So
sleep is actually unconscious meditation. Sleep is very important. Did I say that? Yeah, starting out, because see, to be a breatharian, first you got to get healed before your body can sustain itself. See, people got it backwards. They're sick. They think if I become a breatharian, I'm going to get healed. That's not how it works. You get healed, and that leads you into breatharianism. See, that's why a holistic lifestyle is a person who is taking on the challenge to go, they're choosing to go heal themselves. That's powerful. Look how many people are sick all around the world. They can heal themselves if they have the information in the mind.
Yeah, and they're recognizing that they can. It's very empowering because the medical system, the way it is now, we're not empowered, right? We're led to believe
that's right.
Doctor, we have to take pills, we have to do this and that. But this is a very empowering path. You realize, wow, my mind, my state of being will affect my entire body, and not only that, my entire life.
Yeah.
The world around me, right?
That's why we say this is taking on full responsibility. See, every time you give your responsibility to somebody else, you lost your power. Well, the government should have told me. Well, the doctor should have figured it out. You just gave up your power. And it's not even his fault. He don't know you. So a holistic lifestyle, we say breatharianism is a holistic lifestyle, mind, body, spirit connection. That's a person who chose to empower themselves by healing themselves. That's how you know. Oh, man, I just got high thinking about it.
I know, and you're being empowered with love. So it's not power over anything.
Right.
It's not might. It's just pure love, and it's just really owning the fact that that's what you are. And you are, like, I'm Ellie Tom. Ellie Tom's me. We are you. We're all one and the same. We really are. And the more you're on this path, the more you actually experience that. When you experience it, you can really embrace the truth of that. Until you experience it, every single thing that we've talked about is just a concept.
Just a concept.
So we want you to experience the pure love that's within you and that you are.
Now listen at this Chinese proverb. He who blames others have a long way to go on his journey. He who blames himself is halfway there. But he who blames no one has arrived. Oh, that is powerful. That's why we talk about full responsibility.
That's so good. Oh. And it also removes all judgment, right? There's no judgment, there's nothing to blame. You're just the observer.
Whether you eat or don't eat, that's what that's talking about. You took full responsibility. Because there's even people, when they eat something, they're beating up on themselves so bad. That right there is not taking responsibility. You did it because you wanted to do it, or don't do it. It's okay.
Yeah, and embrace that. If you want to do it,
And embrace it.
have a lot of fun with
That's
it.
powerful.
Truly enjoy it.
Right, that's powerful. And then when you set it down, you're taking full responsibility, because you're doing it because you're hooked up with the love energy. You want to stay in that state. That's full responsibility. Either way you go with it, you're still connected. Oh man, that's what a power is, all right here. But it will not come to its fullness if it keep blaming other things, blaming the system, blaming the process. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that you got to grasp it. So as you were saying, how can a person feel that love energy? That's the steps right here. Number one, relaxing into it and allowing yourself to heal. Notice when I said, when I give these retreats, we don't even teach the food coming into it. You know, don't eat, don't eat. We go straight into talking, dealing with the energies, everybody relaxing into it. And day after day, everybody getting stronger, healthier. It always happens. A person can't even lie their way out of it. So I don't feel nothing. Your body will let you know. Because 9 times out of 10, before you got there, if you're eating every day, yeah, you got issues. I ain't saying that in a bad way, but yeah, we got some ways to go. Everybody got their own thing they're dealing with what they're chipping off. So you can come into the fullness of the love frequency.
Absolutely. And another way you can connect with the love frequency is doing what I suggest with my clients that I mentioned earlier, and that is sending love to others. So whether it's someone that you love, or just generally thinking of people around the world who might be struggling, or a particular group of people, or children, or animals, or whatever it is, if you just send out love and compassion, you will increase your frequency in a nanosecond. You will expand your love energy in a nanosecond, and that will fill you. That will satisfy you and nurture you in higher levels. The more you do that, you are regrooving your mind and your brain, and you're working with the energies, and it becomes easier to get into that love flow more frequently.
Right? I love how you said that, because others are you. You know how at the end of a meditation, that time I tell people, every time you heal yourself, you heal the world. They are you, but it's a concept until you start practicing it. And then you'll get to the point where I got this meme that I put out. They said, how do you treat other people? And they say, what others?
Exactly, yeah.
Powerful.
And that's a good message, because let's say you're treating someone else really well, but you're not treating yourself well. Right? So
that's what it all boils down to. Oh man, this is good. So I'm getting high just thinking about it. But see, this is the path. It ain't beating up on yourself for an reward. Matter of fact, they got a fasting hospital over in Germany. It's been there for over 70 years of information. And basically any chronic disease, they got it on record that it healed. But this is what the lady said. She said, we really don't put people up. We never recommend dry fasting. And she said, we really don't put them on real long fast. She said, people who want to do that just want to show off. It really don't take long for the body to get back healed. This is powerful. So that's why we talk about the repetition on a lifestyle, the repetition. And you start out by giving yourself something in your lifestyle that you know you can do for the rest of your life.
That's right. That's right. Because it's not like a diet where you just take foods out for a short period of time and then you go back to the way it used to be. It's a lifestyle change. It's a totally different high frequency lifestyle.
Absolutely. Because we're creatures of patterns, creatures of habits. So if you got a habit that you could at least do for the rest of your life and you're comfortable with it, that's when your body will pick up that habit real quick, because it's sort of like its own little child. It wants to know it'll be all right. See, I even had a group online today, and we was teaching on the concept of water. See, the body will retain water if it don't trust you. But if the body knows that the water is abundant, it's everywhere, but that program has to be into the body. That's why this is an abundance message. Then the body will feel comfortable and to trust you. Oh man, did I say that? So that's why people get dehydrated. The body start trying to retain stuff, bloated. It don't trust you yet. It's like a kid. Bring it along. So in the beginning stages, you have to let the body know and say, you'll eat again. You'll be all right. Yeah. Oh, will I? Other than that, I think you're starving it and it's fighting back.
That's true. It's true. Yeah.
Man, this is good what we're saying this, because it's all about you. I hope this wisdom is really kicking in. This is a wisdom message. Knowledge is one thing, but wisdom is when you start applying correct knowledge. You have results from it.
And love is the highest wisdom there is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, man.
When you're in that state, I mean, you can't do anything wrong.
Can't do nothing wrong.
I mean,
Literally.
it's just perfect. Everything's
Right.
perfect, really. And you're in a higher state of consciousness when you are in that state. So if an issue does come up, boom, you have the answer right away. If you're not sure what direction to take, boom, you know right away, because you're in that higher state of being, which is your higher consciousness. It is
Absolutely.
your higher self. It's source.
And you are actually happy. See, like the Tibetans say, as soon as you get angry, you done broke the wholeness. Now, when we first hear that, well, you got to get angry sometime and because you're coming from that mind. But you done broke your wholeness. But when you start grabbing more control of this and connected with the love energy, you don't get angry no more because you don't want to break your wholeness. It's not worth it.
And it's just not, yeah, it's not your natural state. You don't anger as easily. Let's just say your fuse gets a lot longer.
Right. Your fuse is a lot longer.
Yeah.
We're talking down to earth. Mm-hmm. Well, how do you always stay happy? Because you're always connected. Right. It becomes your nature. It just ain't a fly by night. Yeah. You're riding that wave on that frequency. Oh man, this is good.
Beautiful. And I love getting there through meditation. So that's another way of reaching those higher states of love, is meditating. I love that. Being in
nature. Oh, absolutely. You see, meditation is just a word we gave it. Now, from my experience going around the world, and I'm saying meditation is the foundation, 99.9% of the people don't have a clue what I'm talking about till I have to show them. So I will say this, it was just a loose word. Because everybody will say, I'm meditating, la, la, la. Well, meditation is medication. If you understood how to meditate, you shouldn't have got sick. Now, when we say that, yes, I do have to tell people how to use the body. When we make the connections to the tongue to really feel the energy flow. I've been showing people mudras lately. And this was people doing mudras before, but after I got done, I'm not tooting my own horn, but I am. But I've been in this long enough to where I perfected it. So I'm just sharing it with everybody else. This is what it's for. That should be able to heal you. We're coming straight that forward. This is a physics you're dealing with. This is a mechanical energy, kinetic energy. You're dealing with thermodynamics. You're dealing with quantum mechanics. Somebody tried to come at me. It's that quantum mechanics. And I had to just look at them. You got to go get caught up. Yes, we do know what we're talking about.
we are energy beings. Yeah.
Hours of information behind this. So yeah, we know what we're talking about. We're in the age of energy medicine, frequency medicine. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And you know what? You are your own medicine.
Mm-hmm. Your own placebo.
Yeah.
Or your own nocebo. Make yourself sick. Just that real.
That's true. Yeah, stress can do it. Anything in the mind can do that. So use your mind for good. Use your mind for love. And use the love to change the energy of your body, the cells, your DNA. You can do that. You can absolutely do that. It can change your body.
You be on a path. Like I crossed paths with somebody I probably ain't seen a decade ago, who probably was against the message, but it's a decade went past. And as I look at them, I'll say, yep, we're going the right way. That's all you can say. You're going the right way, and they even know it. Because this is a path to keep recharging you, regenerating. Oh man, making you healthier and healthier, stronger and stronger, more vitality, and you'll keep learning. This consciousness is so vast. See, 10 years ago, you think differently than you did 10 years ago. Now, you're going to be thinking differently 10 years from now than how you're thinking now. It don't end. That's powerful. So even if you're having an aha moment, that's what makes the journey so good. So at least on the journey, you can look forward to that. Man, I'm learning. I still got all this to learn. And it feels like I know a lot now. It's preparing you.
I learn every day. Forget 10 years. I learn every day.
Yeah.
I'm different all the time. In fact, when we saw each other last, you said, when you see me next, I'm going to be totally different. I'm going to be
Right.
a completely different human being. And you know what? You are and I am, and everyone watching is different. Year over year, day over day, we are different. So the question is, how do you want to embrace that difference? How do you want to embrace that change?
Right.
What are you stepping into?
Absolutely. Taking part in your destination,
Absolutely.
your destiny, as they call it.
Yep, I love it. You're the master of that. You are the master of your destiny. Absolutely. As soon as you hook into that higher state of being like love, you are then in like the God love flow. You are then totally hooked into the currents of the light, into the currents of the divine, and you are then living in divine will, not your human will, but divine will, because you have shed attachments and expectations and all of that, and you're just hooked into the love. That's all you need to do.
And that's why this is the feeling flow or the experience you're getting out of it. You know, get started somewhere. Don't try to grab the whole pie at first, because just like in anything, like when they talk about losing weight, people fail at losing weight and maintaining it, keeping it off, because they try to put too much on themselves. But if you put something in slightly here, okay, I got the meditation part. Now let me slowly get exercise in. Oh, let me slowly look at the foods that I'm eating. Because the good thing about this, we're showing you how to eat your way in the breath air. Now put tape on your mouth, how to eat your way in. See, it was the abuse of the coarse foods that caused it a lot of pain. High blood pressure, too much stress on the body. That's what it is, stress and tension. Build up over years. But when you get this knowledge, you don't have to never be on that frequency. Every time you see the doctor, it's just for a checkup, and you're giving him information.
I love it. Right.
Whole different ball game. Yeah. Oh man. So it's sort of like when I was breaking off, I had this job one time, and they said we had good medical insurance. What are you going to do about our medical insurance? I'm going to take care of myself. And from those years, those same people, even though they got the good medical insurance, they need it, because every time you see them, it's pray for me because I got to go in for surgery. I got to come out. You know, this is what's happening. And me, that's not even in my reality. I really took care of myself. You buckled in. Other than that, you gave up your power, like we said, to other forces because you chose not to really take care of yourself. Love yourself. That's what it's dealing with.
Love yourself. That is what you need. Love, 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 love yourself.
Oh man, this is good.
Right now, love yourself. Hugs for everybody.
Oh, absolutely. So again, the Arizona is going to be a good one. The weather's there, the experience will be there. And if you've been through one of these retreats before, even when you come back, it's a whole nother ball game on how we're dealing with it. And like I said, the information increased, so you can really wrap your head around it. When you can wrap your head around something, it can really, you can really complete it. If you don't know what's being conveyed or said, you keep missing the mark, missing the point. That's why you got to stay in the knowledge. That's what we're dealing with. And see, if you got to keep asking questions on what somebody else is doing, you ain't practicing it no way. Serious. It's a difference when I'm talking to a bunch of practitioners of energy compared to a bunch of people who just doing other things with their life. Those are two different questions. I'd be like, man, I got to repeat that again. What is a chakra? I did not just say that. But when you start having the experience of your energy centers, that's a whole different ballgame. You don't have to ask no more. It's all up to you then, or how far you want to take it.
Yep, it's experience, really.
Mhm.
And our retreat is going to be awesome because it's going to be in January, which means it's going to kick off 2022. So it's a great way of starting the year, and I'm really excited. So,
And these years ain't slowing down for nobody.
no, no.
When 2021 started, I did a thing on social media. This is going to be over with soon. Stay on the path. I warned everybody, and here it is at the end. I got a group who stayed. They see the benefits. There's another group who fell off for a minute. Just look how I said for a minute. Long as your feet is on the ground, it's your turn. And that minute of what we call falling off was just a learning experience. I just had a friend of mine call me. We was together like 3 years ago. And they was like, man, I got to get back to that foundation back then. Right, they caught themselves. Went to a little bit this way, but they learned a lot. But at least you know that memory. I need to come back home. The foundation is powerful. You keep this foundation. There's a lot of power in fasting. There's a lot of power in meditation. There's a lot of power on what you put in your body and at what times. So it ain't about what it is, it's about how much. There's a lot of power on monitoring the way you think. Listen at this, if you put these together, that's a lot of power in that organism. Stirring it up. This is the placebo, a lot of power. That's why we call it a lifestyle. That's on your mind all the time. And that's why even fasting won't even be fasting no more. It just be a day you just don't feel like eating.
That's right. Yeah, you just forget about it, really.
When the last time you ate? Oh, 3 days ago. I'm not even counting no more. That's how you start rolling.
That's how you know. That's how you know, is when you kind of lost track and someone says, oh, have you noticed that the cost of food has gone up? And you say, no. Or someone will say, what else you ate and you don't remember. So that's what we're talking about. Your focus is no longer in that. Your focus is somewhere else. But you're not forgetting about food to the point where you're feeling sick because you're dropping food too quickly, right? So we're not talking about that.
We ain't talking about that.
But we're talking about doing it in a safe way to where it's no longer the center of your life and other things are that make you happy.
And it should be safe. It should be safe and easy. If you're beating up on yourself or think that's the route to go, you're going the wrong way.
That's right. That's right.
Oh man, this is good.
Love makes the world go round.
All right.
Love makes all your chakras go round. Love makes your whole body expand. Just remember that. Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, that's so perfect.
So good. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for listening to us today. We are so excited for the things that are coming up in the future. We're going to do definitely a few more talks before January for sure, especially now that you're back in the United States. Ellie, Tom, welcome back. I'm so excited for your journey here because it's a whole different environment here, of course, than it is in India. Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
And I love it. Different flavor, but we still stirring it up. The people, the consciousness is still the same, and the breatharian message will work anywhere on the planet. You just got to become aware of it and start working on yourself. Oh man, this is good.
Absolutely, I love it. Yay!
So peace and blessings.
Yes, peace and blessings, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. If you like the video, click the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff, and stay tuned for our next video. Have a good day.